Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Chris here, CG Aviator, taking some time out from the toy age to bring you a pre-release first look at the Just Flight PA38T from Microsoft Flight Sim. This is a pre-release version. Bugs may still be apparent. If you see any, please put them in the comments down below. But from what I see, it's a very finished product at this stage. So I'm going to show you inside, outside, some of the features, but most importantly, how it flies and what it's like to own and operate. So we're going to put it through its paces. Quick startup, no checklist. It's such an easy aircraft to fly and a lot of fun. So let's get to it. There we are in the cockpit, and it looks absolutely brilliant. I mean, look at the wear and tear, particularly in fact, if I get some sunshine on this yoke later, you'll see the grime in it. It looks excellent. Very, very nicely done. I mean, the textures, just beautiful all around. Nice aircraft, good visibility. Not much out the top, but it's not supposed to be an aerobatic aircraft. Of course, I'm going to put it upside down because that's what I do. But if you want to cruise around, it's just a lovely looking aircraft and great visibility all round. In terms of the gauges and instruments, you get standard 6-pack, really simple on the switches. It's single engine, piston, fixed prop, so really simple to operate, just a mixture and a throttle once you get this thing going. And on the right hand side, you've got your EFB with lots of different settings. So let's dive into the EFB quickly here. So you can see you've got aircraft states down the left hand side, maintenance. There is wear and tear options on here, and you can set it to a random condition. So things may fail, which I really like. So that's cool. We'll do a walk around as well. This is a really nice feature, and we'll do a quick look at what that gives you. You can overhaul the aircraft, of course, if you don't want the wear and tear, and you can disable it as you need to. Various aircraft options down the center there. You can enable and disable things as you go. On the right hand side, you've got the chocks, tie downs, tow bar, pitot cover. Interestingly, if you get airborne and your instruments, your pressure instruments aren't working, if you have the pitot cover on, that's it's going to be disappointing for you. So make sure to remove it before you get airborne. Other options in here, you've got SimBrief interactivity, if that's even a word. You've got a map, some charts. You can actually upload your own charts for the kneeboard elements. So there's a bit here. There we go. And you can click through various things, charts, graphs, lots of stuff to work through. And like I say, there you go. You can drag and drop your images so you can have your own things down here. Lots of fun to be had with that. Anything else to mention here? Not really. I think that just about covers it. But let's go to the walk around. And this, I've seen it in other aircraft. It's really great that Just Flight are bringing this in. And let's click on an option here. So this takes you to an external view, and it brings the EFB with you. Now I'm using Track IR to look around. So it's awesome. I like that a lot. And you can click on things on the aircraft, rotate the prop, check it. You can toggle things on and off. For instance, the tow bar you can remove, and the chocks, if you want to do that now, you can do. Toggle it as you wish. You can see the tie downs and tags there. So nice feature like that. And you can just click on anywhere here to go and inspect a different part of the aircraft. I mean, look how nice that looks. Love that livery, by the way. And talking of liveries, a quick insert. Here they are. And they all look lovely. So really nice. And you just make your way around. Love it. Absolutely love it. Living, breathing aircraft with a walk around option. So back in the aircraft, I think it's about time to get the thing started up. So first things first, let's shut these doors. So we click on the armrest, click on the lever here, and then we need to lock it over the top. So let's do the same on the left. There we go, fully locked. And you can hear those lovely sound effects in the background. You can also hear, I like how the sound effect is a bounce. Little things. Now, if I'm being really nitpicky, you can see a little bit of low poly around this latch area here. And it'd be really nice if somehow they could put a little bit of width onto the glass or the perspex, whatever it is. But I'm being really nitpicky here, really nitpicky. Let's leave that open. Just one more time for good measure, and we'll listen to the engine if we get this thing started up. So I'm not following a checklist because it is pretty simple. This is a great aircraft to use if you want to learn an aircraft and not just learn but live and operate with it. So in the center you've got the fuel on, so we'll switch that fuel onto left. We'll put the mixture up because that allows the fuel into the engine. We'll probably add a little bit of throttle there. Here we go. Parking brake is on. Flaps looks like the handbrake, but that's the flaps. They're up. As you can see out the window, you can see the ailerons work nicely as I move that around. In actual fact, you can see the grime there. Look at that. A little bit of whatever that is around it. Yeah, I like that a lot. So we've switched the fuel on. What else do I need to do? That's pretty much it. We can start switching things on then. So we've got battery alternator. I'll probably put the anti-cold lights on. Fuel gauges, you can see things have started to come alive with the GPS, so that's cool. We can put the fuel pump on. You can see the fuel pressure go up on the right-hand side. And you can hear it in the background. That's cool. I don't know if you start it with the fuel pump on. I'll just leave it off for now. And then I'm going to try and start it. So let's give it a go. Sounds nice, right? Purring away. And you'll notice I haven't removed any of the chocks or the tie downs. So let's do that. Let's do that before I embarrass myself any further. Chocks, tie downs, and the pitot cover. Like I said, don't forget to do that. Right, GPS, let's stop that flashing. You can do your thing. Put that onto standby. That's all taken care of. And you know what? That's pretty much it. I'll set the altimeter to QFE so that it gives me 0 at airfield elevation, and we'll use that for some aerobatics. So it's time to taxi this thing out, have a fly around, put it through its paces, and show you what it's all about. It's really nice to taxi, really responsive. It actually responds like the weight that it is, and that's kind of, you know, an all-up weight. I think it's like 700 kilos, which is not a lot. We'll just take another look at that lovely texturing. Really good. Let's do some power checks here. I don't know what the checklist says, but usually you want to check that the engine responds normally, the magnetos work. So I'll set 2000 RPM. You can hear that noise out the back, out the window. Close that. Oh, close that up for now. Right, check the magnetos. Yep, left recovers, right recovers. You can check the mixture if you wish. That RPM dropping as well. And we'll switch to the right tank, usually so you can test both tanks whilst you're on the ground. So there we go. Simple as. Of course, there's probably more checks to it, but it is really easy to use. And let's get to going. Now I think it automatically goes to ground when we're on the ground. So let's line up then. This is a lot of fun. I mean, I know it's silly. I do enjoy the fast jets. I fly those most or more often than not. But to take the chance, a little low and slow aircraft like this, you can appreciate the scenery and just poodle around. And that's what this aircraft's all about. And I'll show you the detail in the flight dynamics of this aircraft as well, so you can really dig into the physics of it as well. Sounds so nice. Okay, what do I need on? Probably need some pitot, some landing lights. Probably have the fuel pump on for takeoff as usual. Right, let's go. Now you need a fair bit of right rudder for takeoff, which is excellent. Low speed, high power equals right rudder in this aircraft. I'll demonstrate that airborne. Speed is alive. It's nice and twitchy as you expect for a lightweight aircraft. I have no idea what the speeds are, so we're making it up. We look like we're in the white arc, so I'll go for about 60 knots. And we're up. We didn't use flap for takeoff. The gear doesn't come up. And yeah, that is it. I mean, checking that scenery out, lovely stuff. Okay, what we're going to do now is put it close to the stall and just let you see and hear what it is like to fly it here. It's not a very powerful aircraft, so you've got to enjoy flying it slow. There's a stall warner. You can hear the buffet. You can't see the buffet, which does lose a little bit of immersion, I have to say, but not too much. There we go, easing off the back pressure. Roll, pull. Now this aircraft likes to spin as well, and we'll take it up in just a second to do some of that, but of course let's do some aerobatics because that is the thing I like to do the most. Okay, what we're going to do first is some aerobatics. We'll use this runway as a line feature. We'll look about 300 feet on the altimeter to give us our baseline. And about 110 knots, if you can get there, you can pretty much do most things. So 110 knots, here we go, pulling up. Nice prompt pull, wingtip to wingtip, right rudder as you slow down. Get it over the top quickly, we're below 30 knots there, but it's going alright, it swings its way through. Keep that pitch rate as consistent as you can, scanning the altimeter, and we are back at 300 feet and 110 knots. So we actually didn't lose any energy in that maneuver. So you can get some good aerobatics out of this if you are nice and consistent and gentle with it. You can also do a barrel roll as well, so let's try that. That's almost 120 knots, a little bit lower than I want it to be. It doesn't like rolling at slow speed, so here we go, gentle with it over the top. Keep the roll and pitch, going for the 45 on our line feature. And back at 250 feet-ish. So again, we didn't lose too much energy in that. Now I wouldn't recommend anything like a roll off the top or a half horizontal, anything like that, because it doesn't like to roll at slow speed. But you can get most of the other things complete. And in fact, let's go for a stall turn because this thing actually works reasonably well. So here we go, we're at 200 feet, 110 knots, pitching to the vertical. I'll put the rudder in as soon as we get to the vertical. Right aileron as we go over the top, idle. That's one of the nicest handling stall turns I've had in a Microsoft Flight Sim model. There we go. Top credits. That was a lovely, lovely aircraft to stall turn in. So aerobatically, it does provide a lot of pleasure. Okay, for those of you that enjoy flying from the outside of the aircraft, let's do a little bit of that so you can get a sense of what this aircraft's like to fly from outside. And in actual fact, as long as you're nice and gentle with the controls, you can still get some good consistent aerobatics out of it. Try and do the camera work at the same time as flying this, which is pretty tricky. Oh, I'm a bit slow on the barrel roll. We're going to fall out of it a little bit. No, it's very forgiving. It's very forgiving. It'll be less forgiving when I get to spinning it in just a moment. That's scenery as well. Lovely stuff. Should we try a stall turn from outside? Yes, we will. Left rudder, over the top, bit of right aileron. Wasn't perfect, of course, but that's not bad at all. I enjoyed that. I did enjoy that. Okay, let's do some spinning. Now you don't have to be too high up to spin this aircraft and not crash. We're at 1,500 feet. And the idea, I think in the manual it suggests that you want to get it to the stall and then kick the rudder in full left or right and it should spin nicely, and then release the controls. So let's go for this. Stall, left rudder, spin and release the controls. Spinning! There we go, 1,400, 1,300, right rudder, put the nose forwards, power on and recover from the dive, watching maximum speed, 130 knots. We made it. So spinning, it does the thing that it's quite famous for. It does like to spin. I like it. So the aerodynamics on this aircraft are quite a joy to finesse and use. So let's do another example. If I take it here, get to the stall, you can see the ball is in the middle. I'm not going to use the rudder, I'll apply full power. Look at that ball go out to the right. So if you apply full power, especially at low speed, you need the right rudder. Okay, what I sometimes forget to do is go for a night flight. So this is what this aircraft is like to fly at night. You get separate lighting switches for the radios. So that's the radios there. Scroll wheel mouse. If you try and click and drag, it's a little bit sensitive. So it'd be nice if they dip down the sensitivity there, but that works. And then it'd be nice if there was another kind of extra bit of dimmability. There's not a word, but you get my idea. So it's kind of a little bit all or nothing, but you do get the lights. There we go. Quite pleasant to cruise around. That is pleasant to cruise around. What a lovely area this is. Very nice. And the runway, look at that. That's cool. So night lighting. Love it. Let's have a look outside. We are approaching downwind. We'll do a few patterns with this. 500 feet is what I'm using for my downwind height. I have no idea what the checklist is, but pretty much just make sure the flaps are down as required and you're good to go, and the brakes are released. Spacing wise, I usually go for putting the runway inside the wingtip but outside the fuel cap, the red fuel cap. That tends to work for me. You can keep it quite tight to the airfield as well. Now I'm flying a military pattern, I'm not doing square patterns. I've not done one of those for a long time. I'm still very tight. Let's see how this works out. But you get a good amount of drag from the flaps as well. So let's go mid flap. Where's that runway? Good visibility out there. So let's start our oval pattern here. Down flap. Don't know what the speeds are again. About 70 knots, bleeding off to 60 I think for the approach. We'll try that. Easy to float this aircraft, so I think I am a bit faster than the most part. Pappies are showing reasonable. 60 knots. Oh, trying to float it. Been flying bigger aircraft, so it's hard to get a feel for where the wheels are. Nice. Squirrely. I like that it's squirrely. I might turn down the sensitivity on my axis a little bit. Nice. Not too bad. Not too shabby. For the final one, I'm going to switch the engine off in flight and do a forced landing onto the airfield. And the way we're going to do our forced landing is to pull the mixture. Then we'll pitch for best glide, which I'm guessing is about 60 knots. The airfield's down there, but we've got lots of fields that we could go into. If you wanted to restart the engine, I guess all we'd need to do is put the mixture on and then hit the start button. There we go, that works. But we'll say it's failed. We'll switch the magnetos off, fuel off. How do I do the fuel? Ah, there we go. You have to undo the latch. That's clever. I like it. Where's that runway? A little bit behind us. The wind isn't such a factor today either. So, in fact, well, the wind turbines are moving around. Love that. Very nice. But it's not a strong wind day, that's for sure. And this aircraft will get bumped around in the wind. So if you fly with live weather and it is windy, you'll get bumped around a lot. And we are at 1,000 feet. So I've got the choice of pretty much any runway, but let's see what rate of descent we get out of it with the engine off. Of course, the prop's going to keep spinning because you can't feather it. It's not a variable pitch propeller, so it will add a little bit of drag in there as well. We are now at 900 feet, so let's see if we can get this thing trimmed out, about 60 knots. Now I wonder what it sounds like when I open the window now. That's cool. Very quiet. Well, we're coming down towards 500 feet, so what I probably will do is convert to this runway down to the left. Not going to make it round there. It looks like there's a grass strip down there as well. What a great little airfield. I can't remember the name of it. I'll put it in the description if I can remember. And then we'll turn final and land on what looks like 07. There we go, a bit tight. Put the flaps down. Put the flaps down again. And maybe cruise on into the car park like a hero. Not the best forced landing, of course. I wasn't trying to be perfect. But we're down. And we had plenty enough runway left because it's a small aircraft. Just about made it before the end of the runway. Just next to the car park, ready to go home. But that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you want to support the channel, like and subscribe is always appreciated. Until the next time, take care and fly safe.